We're frozen. Oh, there we go. We're okay. Have you watched this? No? It's a hit. You're behind. 9.6 billion views in July alone. Okay? Romantic comedy. Have no idea how they got English go-go squid out of Canida, Rida. I don't know how they got that. But in the most recent episode, Crisis, they broke up? No. The hero plays a video game. And the video game has a map. Oh. And some of those 9 billion views got busy criticizing the places in the sacred territory of China not included in the map. And so they started posting it on, and it started bubbling up from Weibo. And then what? People's Daily issued, you can see there's this little article about don't make too big a deal out of it, but don't make a mistake. No part of China can be yielded. And they've said, now see these maps? Study. Even if you're a film star, even if you're a film producer. Serious stuff. Some people speculated that the star of the show was a Taiwan separatist, which is bad for your career in Chinese television. Okay. I only have another 2 hours. No, I'm sorry, I am running long. The key point I want to make is that issue about stability. But everything I say now, from here on, is about instability, is about a potential source of instability, a potential source of dissent. And you know it. I'm talking about the millennials. The millennials and Gen Z. These people have expectations. And in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, on the Chinese mainland, and in America, not all these expectations are being met. In Taiwan and in the United States, these people can go and vote. They can speak their minds freely. In Hong Kong, they can speak their minds freely, they can't vote. On the mainland, neither. Okay? But this is a source of potential problems. Governments are going to be challenged by millennials. Governments are depending on millennials. We always depend on the young to solve the problems that us oldsters couldn't figure out, problems that we made. But millennials are making demands. So the first one, with regard to China, is if you are a young person, this is the per capita GDP chart. You don't know a time when it wasn't going up and going up quickly. So there's pressure on leaders to deliver. How about millennials as a share of the population? They're huge. The baby boomers are not as numerous. And so if you look, Taiwan, 29% of the population falls into the millennial category. In China, 30.5. In Hong Kong, because of a lower birth rate for longer, about 1 out of 4. In the United States, what? Also about 1 out of 4. Vietnam is the supremely youthful place. So there's a lot of these millennials. Taiwan, almost 7 million. That's a force. And if you want to understand the sunflower movement, if you want to understand the discontent, part of it is what? Education. I'm in the education business. I would never speak ill of education. And this chart is almost impossible to understand at a distance. But what this chart shows is the percentage of people with college degrees. And because Taiwan is not part of the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, they don't get to be on the chart, but I've come up with a statistic. In 2015, almost half of Taiwan between ages 25 and 64 has a college degree. This is new. This is good. This is wonderful. That so many people are able to get this advanced education. But it's also a test. Because one of the things that they learned was to ask questions. And they have expectations. Their predecessors who got college educations got good jobs, got paid well. For them, not so much. Let's take a look. Here's the United States. And it's roughly the same as Taiwan. Older, richer, but educated about the same in terms of levels of education. If we look, Taiwan and the United States are ahead of other countries in this rich country mix. South Korea among young people, the best educated on the planet. There's a higher per capita number of PhDs in South Korea than any other place. And 70% of people between 25 and 34 have college degrees. 70%. Okay? Japan is pretty high. China, nowhere near. But that's changing. And as that changes, it's going to be a test for the Chinese government. Now, you've got to educate folks to power the economy forward. But education has two edges. That economic advance and also the expectation edge. And that's what we see in Taiwan, and we're going to see it in China. So here's the expansion of higher education in Taiwan. Now, most of you know this better than I. And so the white line are graduates, and you can see going from not many graduates to over 200,000 a year. And then the yellow line, numbers of students in higher education. And mainly what happened was the conversion of junior colleges into colleges and some colleges into university in the 1990s. In the 1990s. And what do we see? In 1990, only 15% of people can pass the college entrance exam. By the last few years, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. And in